Mr. Vice President, since the question.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the new episode of How I See It podcast with your boy Big Dawg079. New studio, new everything. Shout out to my people at Best Buy for hooking your boy up. Shout out to my people at Walmart for hooking your boy up. You already know what time it is. A lot of people probably thought I was gone. They probably thought I was gone. But I was just upgrading. I was just making the right moves, man. Just wanted to make my thing look a little more professional, man. I ain't want to constantly keep getting up there. And I felt like I got to this point by like squeezing and just making shit work the way I needed it to work. But then now I'm at a point in everything, as far as my music career, podcasting career, and everything else, where you know you got to kind of put the money where your mouth at now. So that's just where I'm at, man. And that explains why I've been out the scene. You know what I'm saying? The other part of why I've been out the scene, I've been making music. I kind of like caught a little wave, man. I'm just riding my wave right now. I get inspired. I'm not typically the type of artist that can just go in the studio and record a song like that. I have to have a reason for what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So like right now, I'm just on a real good groove right now, and I just been devoting more of my time to the music than anything else. You know what I'm saying? And then that just gave the proper segue into getting digital cameras and getting the proper lighting and getting everything else I needed to properly present a podcast on YouTube. So that's just where we at, man. You know what I mean? So shout out to everybody out there that's been rocking with me with The One I Need, my very first R&B song. Won't be my last one, but I just had to get that out of my system. That came from a real place, and I was just totally inspired. I had to do it. For all of y'all that don't know, I made the beat. From henceforth, I'm probably going to be making all my own beats. I already write all my own music and everything else, and we'll touch back on that later. But I'm going to go and tap in with my topics of the day, man. And my first topic of the day is Kanye West boycotting the award shows, you know what I'm saying, and how I feel about that. If you don't know, they had pulled Kanye up off the Grammys, man, because he had made some statements on social media. I don't even really know what social media platform it was, but I know he made some what they perceived to be disparaging statements against Trevor Noah. You know what I'm saying? So they removed him from performing, even though he was nominated for a Grammy. They still removed him from performing due to the statements he made. So his response was to boycott the Grammys. You know what I'm saying? In my personal opinion, man, I just feel like if you don't support me, why would I support you? That go for anybody, bro. It don't even matter who it is. Like, if you ain't supporting what I got going on, why would I just continuously support what you got going on? You know what I'm saying? And j.prince, man, salute to j.prince. He had spoke on the topic, and he said that more musicians, like all black musicians, needed to boycott the Grammys and boycott any other platform that wasn't giving you the freedom of the speech or giving you the proper representation or the support that they needed. And I wholeheartedly agree, man. You know what I'm saying? On my take on the thing is it's 2022, man. I believe that it ain't no reason outside of just simply being lazy why nobody can't put no podcast together, why nobody can't put no record label together, why nobody can't put no studio together. You got companies out there that give out distribution. You can just get a distribution deal and push your music straight to the consumer. You know what I'm saying? I don't see why nobody will be bending over backwards for those roads today. You know what I mean? In a time past when it wasn't no platform, social media hadn't bloomed into what it is, and you had no other option but to go through a record company. I get it. But today in 2022, man, I don't feel like it's worth it to me. So when it comes to things like standing up for having like morals and standards and principles for what you're going to accept, not only as a man, but as a musician, and not only as a musician, but as a black musician, I wholeheartedly support that, man. I feel just like Prince said, like more people need to step up. You know what I mean? I was just watching something on the news where a Starbucks in New York, they just got their first union. You feel me? And I know Starbucks, and then it's Amazon. They just got unionized, and a couple more people. You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking to myself, like, why musicians ain't unionized? You know what I mean? Like, why aren't musicians in a union? Like, you do work. you under contract for work. Why aren't musicians in a union? Like primarily, why aren't rappers in a union? Why aren't R&B singers in a union? You look at people like Ashanti, man. I'm gonna just say Ashanti because like I used to rock with her music. Like I'm a fan. A lot of people like that had these really, really big names, and they had these really, really strong impacts on the community and the culture and everything like that. And then when the record company feel like they can't use them no more, or they can't keep a song on the charts, then they just throw people to the side of the road, right? And then now you got to figure it out for yourself. You know what I mean? Just like Young Jock. Whatever happened with Young Jock's situation, I ain't really sure. But I know Young Jock was driving Ubers a little while ago. You know what I'm saying? I seen that on social media. I think it was YouTube. I seen that on. But my point ain't like to try to disrespect nobody. And my point simply is, after you've given the work that you've given, and it hit that time, just like any other career path. If you work for UPS, it's only going to be so many years you're going to be able to hop up out that van and drop that package off. So at the end of your career with UPS or somebody like that, typically, they have a pension program. They have, you got rights. They still got platforms in place to take care of you after you can no longer deliver the packages. You feel what I'm saying? So just in my thought process, and I've always been an independent thinker. I was born on July the 4th, so my thought process always like that, But like, why ain't rappers in a union? You know what I mean? Like, you could put these stories online and say, oh, he used to be rich and now he out there bumming. But like, why aren't there any protections in place for musicians, creatives, in the form of a union where you're entitled to a certain something, and that will prevent you from being poor after your career was over? You know what I mean? And like, everybody talk about how tricky and how conniving the record industry is, yet you still advocate and encourage people to sign a record deal. I don't really get it. But just keeping it back to the Ye thing, man, I'm always support Kanye, because I'm just like Kanye in my mind. I think like, I don't want to hear nothing about nothing. I 100% believe in myself, and I'm standing on my principles at all costs. So I support bro with what he doing, and I support anybody for standing on their principles and their morals, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't bend over backwards for these people, man. Because when you get done bending over backwards for these people, man, they just gonna spit you out. Like, they don't care about you. Period. So, yeah, I stand firm with Kanye, and I stand firm with j.prince and their perspective on that situation about the Grammys and any other awards show that they supporting the people. You feel me? And so the next thing, I was scrolling through YouTube, right? I seen somebody was talking about I think it was Academic. So if it was Academic, shout out to Academics. I don't recall who it was, but they was talking about how Jay-Z chose money over beefing with other rappers and things like that. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to touch on that because like, that's game right there. You got to peep game. Look, bro, I'm from the street. Like, I'm from Chicago. I'm from the block, 100%, right? But I'm from the block in the sense where I understand the dynamics and the politics that go with being on the block. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if it's active on the street, if his activities going on, you can't get no money. If you constantly got beefs and shit like that going on, you can't get no money because motherfuckers coming through shooting up the block and they doing that. So ain't no really standing on the block. So like, war in any context, right, should be only enacted when there was no other viable options for these two parties or whatever, right? But if there is an option to go out a peaceful way, that's what you're supposed to do, man. You know what I'm saying? And we talking about the music industry, where Jada in the music industry, like on a bigger level, you know what I mean? So I got the opportunity to put my hands on billions of dollars, millions of dollars automatically, and I'm gonna put that at consequence because I'm beefing with a nigga. Nah, I couldn't do that, bro. That's just flat out goofy. Like, I feel like any nigga that's out there just like goofy capping and beefing and arguing with niggas all day, bro, you missing the money, bro. Like, I ain't get into this shit. Like, I ain't get on this big stage to be beefing with people and arguing with people and having people disrespecting my family and things like that. I got on this stage to get money. Like, that's what they was doing where I just left from. In the hood, they ain't got shit to do but argue, fuss, and fight. And now I'm up here where I got big plates in front of me. What the fuck I'm trying to eat, bro? I ain't got time for that. You feel me? So Jay-Z did what any intelligent man would do. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of intelligent men in hip hop. That's just a fact if you want to keep it funky, right? It ain't a lot of thinkers. It's a lot of reactionaries, you know what I'm saying? And Jay-Z is a thinker, clearly a thinker, because look where he at and look where most of the other people that started with him at, you know what I mean? So he did the right thing, bro. That's how I feel 100%, like in situations anywhere, bro. If it's an opportunity, and this for all the little kids out there that be enamored with hip-hop, be infatuated with the culture and all that, right? If there's ever an opportunity to walk away from a situation or to resolve a situation without physical violence or gunplay or something like that, man, at all costs, that's what you should be pursuing. You know what I'm saying? Don't listen to these sucker ass niggas on these videos that's telling you to go out here and do a drill and do all of that, because them niggas can tell you that, right? But them niggas can't tell you what it's like to be on the other side of that wall, because they ain't never been there. You feel what I'm saying? I've been on the other side of that wall. I can tell you flat out, that ain't where you want to be, bro. Like, for real, I just had seen a little female in Illinois, man. She just had a shootout with the police. And she's like 21 years old, and I'm just trying to think, like, what's going on in your mind? What's going on in your life where you thought that was what the move was? You know what I'm saying? And I ain't going to speak on it too much out of respect for her people. And I don't know what her purpose was, so I definitely can't speak on it too much. But just like, man, we got more value than that. You know what I mean? So anytime you confronted with a confrontation or a situation, man, it's always savory. You know what I mean? It's savory and it's kosher for a real one to try to deal with that in an appropriate way. And the appropriate way ain't always acting like an animal or a beast. You feel what I'm saying? So shout out to Jay-Z, man, for moving like he moved. And like, I just find it a little weird that more people will follow the fucked up examples as opposed to following like clearly structured and proven examples of success and fatherhood and business acumen and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's another thing. Y'all need to start following people that's worthy of being followed. Just stop following motherfuckers just because they ask you to follow them. If you can't find a clear-cut reason to be following somebody, what the fuck you following them for? If you don't think you could get no substance out of what they offering, why are you following them? Are you just a follower? Because like Jesus had a whole bunch of people wanting to follow him, but he was selective in who he allowed to follow him because everybody ain't cut out for this shit. You know what I'm saying? And moving on, man, I'm going on to the next thing. Now, so I don't watch award shows, period. So I ain't watch the Oscars. I don't watch shit like that because that's not for me. Like, I don't even really watch a lot of movies. So, like, as a second or afterthought, I heard about Will Smith had slapped Chris Rock on the stage. Now, I seen the little thumbnails and shit, right? But I ain't even click on the thumbnails at all. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am. I'm just that type of person. Like, I don't really give a fuck, right? But I seen somebody talking about Pac and Jada relationship. And I got Pac tattooed on my arm. You feel me? That's my idol. You feel that's who I got my rhyme pattern from, my desire to want to rap, the things I felt was important to rap about. I got everything about my whole thing from Pac. You know what I'm saying? There's other artists that influenced me too, but like Pac is like, that's my man. I fuck with him 100. You know what I mean? I pray to be able to accomplish some of the things that he was able to accomplish in his musical career or his film career or any other aspects in his life. You know what I'm saying? But I just think that people be just running like motherfuckers be running their mouth because they got lips on their face. You know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers don't even be knowing what they talk about or don't be having no real global perspective on things. So they give you their little like soapbox interpretation of some shit. But like you ain't never really been in no real situations. You ain't got no women. You know you're not in that, so you don't know what you're talking about. Me, I'm a different kind of person. I done been through a lot of different situations. You know what I'm saying? And I majored in psychology in college. So I think that kind of give me the right to talk about anything when it comes to human interaction. You feel me? So when I look at Pac and Jada relationship, I think of it just kind of like every now and then in life, right, if you're fortunate enough, you're going to meet some people or a person, not people, a person. You'll be fortunate enough to meet a person that just mesh with you. Somebody that you can just be yourself with 100%. You can be vulnerable with that person. You can be naked emotionally and spiritually and psychologically with that person. And not just physically naked, right? I'm saying in other deeper ways of being vulnerable with a person. You sometimes get lucky enough to run into people like that, right? And then those kind of relationships transcend traditional labels and shit like that. Like, in my opinion, right, I feel like Pac and Jada relationship was like, it transcended any different shit like that. Like, oh, that's my girlfriend or that's my boyfriend. No, it's deeper than that. You know what I mean? Like brother and sister type shit on the level, but then like, you know what I'm saying, she's feeling the nigga. You know what I mean? But it was just like deeper than what a motherfucker thought it was. You know what I mean? On the other side of the coin, though, on the street nigga side of the coin, right? Every female want a thug. Every female want a street dude. Every female want the cat that make them feel protected and everything. You know what I'm saying? That just go without saying. You know what I mean? But they also want a motherfucker that's gonna make them feel safe in a financial kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I look at it. Like in a perfect world, Jada would have married Pac, and then they would have had kids, and then they would have been able to like exemplify and live out some of the things he had wrote his songs about. You know, holding a strong black woman down and things like that. But Pac knew who he was, man. You know what I'm saying? He knew what he was. He knew what his mission was. And he knew who she was just like she did. So I think them two adults made a really sensible decision and said like, we not gonna cross those lines. And then if you know anything about the situation, Pac the one that pointed her towards Will Smith because he knew he was a safe dude. You know what I mean? So he sent them that way. And if Jada could have had it her way, if she could have had it her way, she would have been with Pac. If Pac would have been willing to turn it down some and like just reconfigure itself in certain ways, she would have married Pac. Pac wasn't willing to do that. He was on a mission. So Jada ended up with Will. You know what I mean? But that relationship ain't got nothing to do with dishonoring nobody or nothing like that. It's just like some people achieve things with people that is unreachable for others. You know what I mean? Like in the situation I'm in right now, me and my girl, right? Cause like I just got divorced recently, but like me and my girl, we got a bond that ain't got nothing to do with fucking or playing house, boyfriend and girlfriend, nothing like that. Like we locked in. I know that's my twin, like that's my carbon copy. That's the female version of me. You feel what I'm saying? Like I know that, I feel that. You know, I've been in situations where I almost died. And when I opened my eyes on my way to the hospital, I mean, it's like I had to get transported from one hospital to another one. And in the process of that, and I opened my eyes, and that was the first person I saw. You know what I'm saying? So that just changed shit for me. Like you just leveled up on the bitch. You know what I mean? So I think that's like kind of what Pac had leveled up on niggas with Jada. You know what I mean? Like he was so much above a regular nigga that like ain't nobody gonna ever be able to replace that. You know what I mean? When it comes to like the whole Will Smith smacking Chris Rock thing, like honestly, bro, I just felt like it was a sucker move. I personally feel like Will Smith a sucker. You know what I'm saying? Goofy. You know what I mean? Respectfully, like I'm just saying that for like educational purposes. You know what I mean? Like I don't really rock with him like that. You know what I mean? But just because like everybody got their favorites and their unfavorites, and like I just never really got into the whole like I ain't no funny type of motherfucker. No, I ain't that type of dude. I'm like always serious, so I never could really get into that what he do. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's how I feel about it, man. Like Jada Queen, man, she's standing on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? There should be a space in your heart that nobody else can't touch. And if it ain't a space in your heart that nobody else can't touch, then you just ain't been in love on a human level yet. You only experience love through physicality or material items or some shit like that. You haven't experienced love on a human level yet. So I encourage you to go out and try to find your one. You know what I mean? Yeah, so next thing I'm gonna talk about, bro, is Pimp, bro. I'm gonna talk about Pimp C. You know what I'm saying? Cause it like kind of be fucking me up, right? Like I scroll through YouTube, I don't see nothing about Pimp C. Like I don't really be hearing too much more about Nipsey now. You very rarely hear anything about Pop. You don't hear nothing about Biggie no more. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like these new cats come around and everybody act like they really that. You know what I mean? And respectful to every motherfucker that's doing their thing if you really doing something. But like, it's just some shit that was missing in those spaces, bro. Cause like Pimp, I just was watching some documentaries on Pimp C and just like resaturate myself with the game. You know what I mean? Because I've been in tune with him, man. I used to live. Well, I didn't live in Pensacola, but we spent time in Pensacola, Florida, and we lived right next to Roy Jones Jr. for a little while. My auntie lived like right next to Roy Jones Jr. So I used to go to Roy Jones Jr. crib, you know what I'm saying? Like right over there and hang with his trainer kids and shit like that because I was younger then. And Roy Jones Jr. is actually the one who gave me UGK out cassette tape, you know what I'm saying? He gave me the cassette tape, would tell me something good on it. Use Me Up, I think, was on there. But yeah, like I was up. I was probably the only nigga in Chicago that was up on UGK back in the early 90s. Like I'm talking about like 91. You feel me? 91, some shit like that, right? But I was just looking at what some of Pimp was saying about the industry. And some of the movements that he put together in terms of like what he did down there in Texas with everybody that was down there beefing. He made everybody come to the table and squash the shit because we supposed to be up in this game to try to make money. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the objective. Like we don't supposed to be up in here beefing about all this dumb shit and killing each other over this goofy shit because at the end of the day, bro, like we all from the same struggle. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of like miss that in rap. I kind of miss that in our music because like today ain't nobody rocking like that. Like don't nobody really give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like everybody just killing something. Like I'm not that kind of person. I got a real body under my belt, and I don't brag about that shit because that was a real situation. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no like in my opinion, it wasn't just like that, you know. But I look at it today, it ain't no motherfucker talking about nothing, ain't no motherfucker doing nothing but just killing. So who gonna educate the kids about the real shit? You know what I mean? Like Pimp said that he was saying like motherfuckers make all these songs about killing and drilling. But don't no motherfucker really talk about when you end up in prison doing 100,000 years and them same niggas ain't sending you nothing and your grandmama finna die. Don't nobody talk about that kind of shit. You know what I mean? So like I kind of missed that and I just wanted to bring up Pimp C name. I think any real motherfucker, if you got a platform, you need to be yelling Pimp. You feel what I'm saying? Because Pimp's still here. Pac's still here. Biggie's still here. As long as we keep them here. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean ignore what's in front of you today, but don't forget about the people who laid their lives down literally for this game that we call rap, man. Because that's real spill, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bun B too, man. Shout out to Bun B. Shout out to the whole Trill Entertainment, man, because I respect that. Like I respect the fact that it was a group of people that got together with a dream. And if you want to be 100 about it, like Pimp kind of influenced me to go and get these cameras and get all this shit because I was watching a documentary and they was getting scammed. They was getting scammed on beats. You know what I mean? And Pimp like, fuck it, man, I'ma just go on and buy the equipment myself and I'll figure the shit out. So I just was sitting in the bed and I just felt like, damn, like you chasing a dream. You either gonna learn how to do what you're doing or you gonna keep teaching somebody, like paying somebody else to do it. You know what I mean? So I just chose to get the camera, learn how to use it, start shooting better quality material and content, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I support, period, bro. Like, you got a brain in your head, just like them people in that record label. They not doing nothing we can't do. The only problem is we can't stop beefing and fighting and arguing and trying to figure out how we different from each other, excuse me, instead of looking at how we the same. Don't nobody want to be the same no more. Everybody is striving to find the differences. And in the real spill of it all, bro, it's like we losing so much money. Like, I was tempted to try to reach out to people in the city in Chicago and see what the odds of putting together Stop the Violence or like a song like that where everybody in the rap community can get together, like Self-Destruction or Stop the Violence back in the 80s and the 90s, when everybody from the East Coast, they got on a song together, Self-Destruction, and then on the West Coast they got on Stop the Violence. You know what I'm saying? We all in the same gang. That was the name of it. We all in the same gang. And I was thinking to myself, like, damn, like, why don't nobody want to do that now? Like, more than ever today, we need somebody to say something. Ain't nobody saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? So if it's anybody out there that's listening, any other musicians out there, you from Chicago, I don't give a fuck where you from. If you trying to get some money, you trying to make music, you trying to make a difference, then I support that. And you can lock in with me. We can make it happen. I ain't with none of the bullshit, period. You know what I'm saying? I'm just about making good music, about trying to change lives and shit like that, because at the end of the day, we all gonna die. And I just want to make sure I done left more positivity on the earth than I did negativity. And I think that'll determine where I go when my journey is over. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, for sure, man. I just wanted to update everybody on the thing, man. It's just like I've been just going through, like I say, I just got divorced. So I've been dealing with that, like emotionally, just dealing with that a little bit. And I've been in the studio working way more than I typically do. And that's been taken away. And then I tried to do the podcasting thing the traditional way with just like the audio, and it wasn't really working out. So I had a bunch of guests lined up and everything like that. But I felt like I need to take a step back in order to take 2 steps forward, because what I was doing wasn't coming off right, and it wasn't striking me the right way, you know what I mean? And it wasn't, I didn't feel like authentic to who I am. And I don't really want to ever be a part of nothing where it don't allow me to be authentic to who I am, because that's the most important thing to me. You know what I mean? So I had to step away for a minute, but your boy back. Like, period, your boy back. You know what I'm saying? You see what we got going on. See all my shit up here. You see what we got going on. Your boy is back. So if you're just watching me for the first time, I'm going to have to ask you to subscribe to the channel. If you feeling me, you hearing what I'm talking about, you feeling what I'm feeling, you picking up what I'm putting down, I'm going to have to ask you to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you got a comment, something you want to talk to me about, you know what I'm saying, you want to talk to me about your relationships, you want to talk to me about your business, you want to talk to me about your music career, whatever you want to talk to me about, you can tap in with me, leave a comment in the comment section. I will definitely get back with you. If your idea is good enough, I will definitely make a whole episode about it. I'm also looking for guests. Primarily, I want to try to give a platform to musicians, up and coming musicians. You know what I'm saying? It don't necessarily have to be hip hop or rap. It can be any musician that need the platform. But I primarily want to give a voice to some young up and coming hip hop artists and R&B artists. So if you're interested in being on a vlog with me, you're interested in being on the show with me, all you got to do is tap in with me, leave a comment. You can comment your email address if you want to, or however you want to deal with it, and we'll get together and we can make it happen, man. Thanks again for tuning in with me. Thanks for being patient. And we're going to get up out of here, man, because you already know how I do.